That's what he
Do you think women have any duty to?
No.
No.
Do men
Never?
have duties? Sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Men don't have duties?
No, I think by my definition, they should do the right thing, but that's my
That would be a
worldview.
duty, you fucking dolt.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, so
then they have a
what duty? So they have the duty to do the right thing?
Let's
That's
not
what I
do
think.
insults.
Now let's do insults.
Andrew, no.
What duties do men have to do the right thing?
That's my worldview.
So
yeah.
they have duties. What duties do women have?
None.
None. Okay.
Okay, we have a couple chats coming through here. We got, where is it? Jordan.
That drives you insane.
Yes, it does.
Drives him insane.
Jordan Flores donated $100. Andrew, I'm sorry. As a member of the Mexican community, we don't claim the Fender General Viva El Crucible.
Are you part of that? Maybe
I'm half Mexican,
You could
yes.
be Puerto Rican. You could.
I'm
be,
half Mexican.
Okay.
But I would
How do you-
imagine
he's apparently Jordan Flores is the representative.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
a
all-
member.
Of all
yeah,
Mexicans who
He's
have ever lived.
disowning.
he works on the
innocent.
consulate. Yeah, no, he absolutely is probably another one of these single people that are angry. So it's fine.
Okay.
I mean, you're married and seem pretty angry.
Between the two of us, I'm the one that seems angry,
Yeah, you
Andrew.
seem pretty
Between
angry.
the two of us,
Yes.
nice job, dude.
100 times the women you have, so his sample size is far greater. Shouldn't you defer to that then, since you love Moo studies so much? Shout out
I've interviewed-
Mr.
You've interviewed a lot.
I think 2,000.
Jeez.
2,000 women. I know.
That's a lot.
That was kind of misogynistic.
And I've been
What
here
have you
for-
learned?
Why
I've
did
been
you
here
say-
for like half
wait,
of that, by the
why
way.
Why did you say "geez" when I interviewed 2,000?
That's all- I'm
women?
just saying that's a
You
lot of
seem-
shows.
That seems a bit misogynistic.
How so?
It just seems a bit like, wow, you had to talk to 2,000 women.
I'm just surprised at the sheer
That just
number of
seems a
women
little-
you've talked to.
No, the way it came across.
Sure, but I'm explaining.
Was it was like, I'm sorry
No,
that you had
it
to
wasn't
do that.
It wasn't
Brian.
that. I'm just asking you
Okay,
what
my
you've
bad.
learned in those 2,000 interviews. What have you learned?
From them.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
About women.
Not much.
No?
Just kidding. I've learned a lot.
Yeah?
I've learned a ton.
What have you learned? Share something.
Ask me at the end of the show,
Okay.
and I'll tell you. I shouldn't be too involved in the convo.
Hey, you donated $100. The red pill
Thank
isn't
you.
the problem. It's a symptom of a larger issue where men have had negative experiences with modern women and are still villainized. We find solidarity in our collective awakening.
Thank you, hey you. This is exactly what I think is an honest assessment of what happens. I said in my opening statement that red pill communities prey on men's rejection. They prey on men's anger. And I think that's true. And I think they do find community in red pill. I really do. And I think that's why they flock there. But I don't think it's effective for them. I think it's keeping them lonely, isolated, and angry. And they're not dating. So if it's not working, let's look for an alternative. That's
Okay.
all I'm saying.
Here, let's get into that. What's the alternative?
That's what we've been trying to get into this whole time. But you're
I'm
trying to do
waiting.
some other
What's-
bullshit semantic definition game.
Okay. Listen, me asking you what masculinity is, and you saying fulfilling the general societal good, fucking is meaningless.
Okay.
It is meaningless.
Okay, because I didn't come here to necessarily to talk about that. I came here to
Yeah,
talk
but
about
I
the
mean,
red pill community
this
is
your
destroying
worldview.
men's
Debates
Yeah.
are about worldviews.
No,
dude.
debates. You play debate club, and I'm not here for that.
Dude, it's not debate club.
You
it's
try
just
to win.
a
No,
debate.
you try to win debate points. Like there's some judges out there. That's what you do,
Bro,
You're not trying to have a real conversation about shit.
Yeah, I agree that I want my worldview to win, and I want my worldview to win a debate. But the thing is like, I don't even know what your worldview is because you can't explain it.
So your worldview is the red pill is working for men? Is that your worldview?
No.
Well, that's what we're here arguing.
Okay, if you want to do an internal critique of Christian ethics and my worldview, I'm happy to do that.
We came here to talk about the red pill and manosphere community.
Yes, and so when you're asking me about the red pill, what have I told you it is?
You said it's a data packet.
Yes, and so I can utilize, and Christians can utilize this data packet as well, right? And we can introduce it through Christian ethics in a prism that helps men, right?
Only through Christian ethics?
That's what I would prescribe.
Yeah, but most people in red pill communities aren't Christian Orthodox.
They don't have to be Christian Orthodox.
Okay, well the point is the red pill community helping
Do you
men or is it
realize-
hurting? Hold on, is
Yeah.
is the red pill community helping men or is it hurting them in your opinion?
Ultimately, I
Yes.
think it's more helpful than it's bad.
Okay,
Yeah, but I would like to know what the alternative is.
turn off the red pill at least for now. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
I
but
got.
what's the alternative to it, though?
I don't know. Consider trying to ask a girl out. Maybe.
Yeah, they never thought of that.
They're not doing it, Andrew.
Yeah, dude. Bro, you literally just said with that chatter that you agreed with his definition of what it was, what the problem was.
I didn't say anything about
Hang
definition.
on. That the way he said the problem was, which is that they had bad experiences with women.
Correct.
That means they're asking him out.
Not necessarily.
Then how are they having bad experiences with them?
Maybe they're not getting success on dating apps. I don't know. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going up to women in the street and asking them out.
So they're having issues approaching women.
Yes.
They're having issues
Men feel
dating
rejected.
with women.
Yes, men feel rejected.
So what's the alternative?
The alternative is hopefully more positive content coming out. I hope my channel helps. I hope other channels help.
It's not telling me anything. What's the alternative?
I don't have the definite alternative, but I think the point is the red pill community is hurting men. The red pill community is hurting people. That's all I'm talking about.
But you said you were here to discuss the alternatives.
I didn't say. When did I say I was here to discuss
I literally
the
just wrote down alternative because you said, right, I have an alternative.
I said seek out alternatives.
What's the alternative?
I don't know, but there's not the red pill. If it's not working, get away from it. If it's poison, stop taking it. That's the first fucking step. Would you agree?
Not a single alternative?
If you're taking, like I said,
you haven't demonstrated
there's positive masculinity podcasts out there that I would recommend listening to.
Whoa, really? Wait. Positive masculinity?
Correct.
Okay, what is that?
Not the rigid sense that the red pill prescribes.
That
anything
doesn't tell me
counter the
shit.
red pill. Anything. Okay, I'll just call it blue pill for the sake of your stupid definitions. I'll call it blue pill.
And
Listen
what
to blue
is it-
pill.
and what is
content.
that?
The
What is
opposite
that?
of red pill. How about that?
Okay, well, what are they saying?
They're saying don't take the red pill. That's what they're saying.
Okay, got it. So let me ask you a question. This is a cool red pill talking point.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you can refute it. Do you think that that men care about body count?
I think some of them do.
Yeah, would you?
No,
No, you wouldn't care?
I wouldn't.
If she had fucked 20,000 guys,
If I loved her, I wouldn't care.
you wouldn't care? 30?
There's no number. If I love somebody, I'll care. I don't care.
Yeah. What if she had sucked 20 guys' dicks at once?
Do you think that's going to change my answer?
I'm just curious.
I've already answered it. If I cared about somebody, I don't care.
No matter what.
Correct. As long as I don't have an STD, I don't care.
Do you think it's a legitimate preference that men have that they don't want women with high body counts?
I think any preference is legitimate. If somebody has a preference, they have a preference.
Okay.
So what?
So do you think that that's a legitimate preference?
Sure. I said any preference is legitimate. Remember when I said that?
And then what do you think most men would consider a high body count to be?
I have no clue. I have no clue.
Okay.
How would I know that?
Okay. Fair enough. Do you think that most men would maybe consider 10 would probably be pretty high?
Not necessarily. No. Not in 2025. No.
You don't think so?
I don't.
You don't think that men would have a preference against being with a woman who's fucked 10 different dudes
I think
before them?
some men would, but not all men.
Yeah. So the men who would find that revolting, what do you think they should do in 2025 when you just said there's not very many women who haven't had that?
Fine. I didn't say there's not that many women that haven't had that. I'm saying that isn't necessarily such a
then
high body
why-
count for some people. I didn't say every woman has that body count.
I didn't say every.
Well, then they should find somebody that doesn't have that body count. That's what they want.
What if but what if it's the case that an overwhelming majority of women have that body count?
Then men are shit out of luck, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
So how are you helping them?
I'm saying that I don't think that's the case. If that is the case and men don't want to change their preference, then they won't find anyone to date.
So you're saying that if they have a preference against this, that they should just change their preference.
I didn't say that.
So what should they do?
If every woman is disqualified, then they're not going to date.
So if it is the case then that promiscuity increases in society, which that's what the trends are showing, you at least agree with that. Promiscuity, the trends show that has been drastically increasing over the last 20 years.
I said, I don't think it's that drastically different than it was when we were in college. So no.
Okay. You don't think that you don't think like OF has increased since you were in college?
That doesn't necessarily mean they're banging a bunch of other dudes. Porn has been around for a long time.
Yeah, but the thing is the individualized form of it has not.
Yeah, but they're often with their own partners and stuff, so it doesn't matter.
They do BG,
Okay, and
BV
porn
with
has
other
been
people.
around for a long time. You remember
Not
Jenna
at the rates
Jameson?
it has
You remember
been
all
now.
them? Like, it's been around,
Not even
dude.
close to the
It's
same
been
rates,
around,
dude.
Okay, it's been around.
Do you ever think we've been in a situation like with Zoomers where it could be as many as 1 in 10 women do porn ever?
Okay.
Ever? Fucking ever.
Okay, those are OF people. That doesn't mean general women. There are average people getting married every day, Andrew. It's not.
Marriage is decreasing.
But it's still average people get married every day. Even if they're decreasing.
Listen,
yeah.
it happens.
So
And
people
listen,
are finding these people that are on OF.
I agree that you should be going for good marriages, but
Why
here's
not?
where our problem. You should be going for good marriages, but here's my problem. My problem is when we get into the preferences of men. When you say we should be looking for alternatives. Let's have alternatives to red pill for men who have preferences. Mm-hmm. I disagree with you, and I think body count matters to men in a big way.
To some men, yes.
Yeah, and I want to know what you would tell those men to do. What would you tell them to do?
If they're religious, they probably can find somebody in their church that doesn't have a high body count. I'm sure they can meet people when they're young and in college, because college people are dating and getting married. There's probably younger women out there that if you date them,
What about
there's a lot
the
of people that get
30-year-olds?
married. What about the 30-year-olds? They're
Yeah.
not all. I mean, they don't necessarily. Not all women have high body counts. So I don't. But you make it sound like they do, because that's still like your shtick. That's what you do, is
Yeah.
make men think that all women are
No,
skanks,
no.
as you
I'm just
said.
saying that don't you think that by the time most women are 25, they've had at least 3 sexual partners? At least by the
Maybe three.
At least 3.
I'll grant 3.
At least 3.
I'll grant 3.
Yeah. So at least 3.
I don't say at least. I'll grant 3.
You'll grant 3, but
Yeah.
you won't grant 5.
I can go to 5.
Okay, 5. And don't you think that once you start getting into those numbers, we're in like high body count territory for a lot of men?
It depends on what their preference is. I have no idea.
If their preference is that they don't want a woman who slept with 5 men before them, or had, and remember this too, a lot of these times you're sleeping with these women are sleeping with these men, they're long-term relationships, right? So you think that if men have legitimate preferences against all that baggage, right? You think they should be alone?
No, I think they should find somebody that doesn't have that baggage. If that's what matters to
do
them.
you think that there's enough of those out there for the amount of men?
I do.
Oh, you do, and you think
Yes.
that those women want those men?
I think average people get married every day.
Okay, well, that's not my question.
Well, it answers your question.
So then, how come you think that these incels can't find the women which are based around their preferences? Then
I think a lot of people either stay in their house and don't get out. They don't meet people. They don't ask people out in high school. They don't ask people out in college. I think that's a big problem with men today, is that they're not asking women out. I think that's a big issue.
okay, So we'll just finish with this real quick, and then I'll tie it all together for you. What do you consider a marriageable woman for the average man? What is marriageable?
I can't
to you?
prescribe that. I have no idea.
Well, what do you think the average man would consider marriageable?
Oh, someone they really enjoy being around. I don't know. That's what I think they're looking for.
Well, there's going to be some things that you would agree with me. They have to be like they probably have to be attracted to them,
Sure.
right? A trait like that, they would probably have to be attracted.
Sure.
So
but attraction comes in many ways.
Well, they'd have to probably be physically attracted to each other, right?
To some degree, but personality and humor can win a lot of people over.
Yeah, but you still have to be attracted to a person to want to fuck them.
There's a lot of average people that get married every day, Andrew.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not attracted to the other people.
Okay,
So
but they could be
attraction would still be
They
key.
could be attracted beyond physical looks. It happens all the time.
Yeah, but the thing is like it's really hard for a man's weenie to get hard if you're not physically
It's really
attracted.
not.
It's not.
It's really not.
So if you're not, so you fuck women you're not physically attracted to?
I'm saying most men find most women attractive.
You think that men fuck women they're not attracted to?
I think they find most women attractive.
Yeah. So like, so you think then that like that men can just will themselves to fuck unattractive women?
It's called a slump buster.
Yeah.
I think a lot of men find a lot of women attractive.
And do you think they want long-term relationships with those women?
Yes, because they get married every day. Average people get married every day.
Average doesn't mean you're not attracted to them, though. You keep on you're making a conflation.
Yeah, because
so
I'm
like they
saying-
have to be attracted at least, right?
Sure, there has to be some attraction, but
Yeah.
again,
some physical attraction.
sure,
Okay. And do you think that there's like I don't know an obesity epidemic?
sure.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so doesn't that lower the rates of attractiveness?
Maybe, but aren't the 600-pound ladies married? Like, aren't they married? Like, it can happen.
Yeah, but they're usually married to like very, very unattractive men as well,
Well,
right?
they're attracted to them, so what does it matter?
No, they're not always attracted to each other.
So they got married just for what?
No. Sometimes it happens in the marriage,
Okay.
right? Sometimes it happens in the marriage. They literally
point is-
grow apart.
The point is, people can find other people attractive. People want to spend their lives with people, but you don't want to push that message.
No, what do you mean? I'm just talking about basic laws of attraction. Do you at least agree there has to be a trait of attraction?
Sure, but if 600-pound people can find a partner, then I think a lot of people can find a partner.
1 second. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on here.
All good. Quick little guys, we're like 300 viewers away from 10,000 concurrent on YouTube. Guys, if you're watching, help us peak at 10,000.
So anyway, yeah, so back to this. So we agree that there's at least one trait. Are there any other traits for marriageable women?
Sorry, repeat the question. I'm not really sure.
We
what you're
agree there's
asking.
at least one trait. There has to be attraction. Is there any
For
other
men,
traits?
you saying men need to find a woman attractive? That's one of the criteria.
It's, well, at least one we could agree on. There has to be attraction.
Some attraction, yes.
Okay, what else for a marriageable woman?
I think if they enjoy being around the person, I think that's a big personality, humor, like same interests. I think those are a big factor.
Yeah, okay, they enjoy each other's company.
Correct. That's a big part of living together.
Okay, but so they enjoy each other's company. What else?
I don't know. They have similar values.
Similar values.
They agree on similar household duties, things like that.
Okay, so I agree. I would say that one you nailed right there. Similar values is the thing that I hear the most from both men and women.
Yeah.
Right? Similar values.
Yeah.
So if you were to, like, I don't know, ask a woman, for instance, about her political takes, and they were completely the opposite of yours.
Yeah.
Right? You probably wouldn't want to be with that woman.
Probably not. And you probably shouldn't.
So, like, if you thought, for instance, that women shouldn't vote, right? And they thought that they should.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't date that person.
Yeah. So it seems like it's a pertinent dating question now.
No, I'm saying
No?
that in red
How
pill.
is that? No.
The only people who think women shouldn't vote are red pill people. So I'm saying if they can get out of the red pill community, they wouldn't
Yeah,
think
but
like
you
that.
just said that preferences are a thing which are completely fine, and you have no problem with anybody's preferences about anything.
Okay, yeah. If these people similar values, if they're like, hey, I don't think women should have the right to vote, or I don't think women should work, then yeah, go ahead and whittle those people out of your life. Go for it.
So just to make sure, right?
Yeah.
You think that if it's your preference, that you shouldn't be with women like that.
What percentage of the
So
population? What percentage of the population
according to
do you think?
it's the red pillars, and
Yeah.
those are the men you're trying to
I said
save.
they're the only ones.
Yeah,
that might
and aren't
think
those
that.
the men you're trying to save?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, but if their preference is to have these types of women,
but why do you?
how
think
are you
they
going to
don't-
save them?
Why do you think they don't want women to vote?
Well, I think that they have good justifiable reasons for why they don't want anybody to vote.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Well, like I said, those are all the things that would make somebody, I think, viable. And if they don't match those,
so how are you gonna save these guys if they have these preferences? I don't get it.
then they find somebody. Your wife doesn't care about voting, right? You found somebody.
Yeah, I did. Do you
Yeah,
think
so
that
other
there's a
people
lot
can
of
too.
my wives out there?
I don't think there's a lot of yous out there.
Well, but there's a lot of red pillars, right?
Yeah, but I don't think every single red pillar thinks they shouldn't vote. The women shouldn't vote. You somehow you landed on that somehow,
So?
and you found
Yeah.
somebody who agrees with you.
Yeah.
So
no,
I have hope.
She convinced me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have hope that other guys can too. Then.
Okay, so then inside of the red pill community, though, you do agree that there's like a massive repeal the 19th movement.
Sure.
Yeah.
And if they find women that agree, good for them. I hope they do.
But they don't. But they probably won't, right?
Okay. Well, then they're going to be alone then.
So then you don't really care about the loneliness of red pillars. You just want them to change their preferences.
No, I
to
didn't
meet,
say that.
To meet your preferences.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of red pillars that might change their whole belief system after getting out of
Okay,
it.
go ahead. Change my belief system.
I didn't say I'm gonna
Why
change
is
your
it that
belief
red
system.
pillars should get with women who want the right to vote?
I didn't say that. That's not
So
what I'm
you have
saying.
no prescriptions.
I-
you have no fucking prescriptions.
Listen.
It's like talking. Listen. No, you listen.
No, you listen. You've
Give
been
me
talking.
a fucking prescription.
No, I'm not
I
giving
just
you a
talked to you like that.
prescription.
What are you going to fucking do about it? Nothing. Yeah, you heard me. You fucking heard me. You're not going to do shit. Not
What are
going to
you
do
trying
shit.
to? What are you trying to
now
do
back
here?
to this.
What are you trying to do here?
Nothing. Yeah, you wanted to come hard. We're doing it, right?
Well, coming hard by what?
You just said don't. You just said what are you going to do, right?
What are you? Okay.
What are you gonna do?
Dude, that is some insecurity. Because
Now,
I
are
wasn't saying
you
anything about that shit.
Now, are you going to engage here or not? Repeal the 19th?
I don't think we should.
Got it. If you had a preference for it, okay, and a woman didn't, probably shouldn't date, right?
Right.
That would make it a legitimate dating question.
But
wouldn't
that
it?
doesn't. But that's not what you just said. You said I don't care about red pillars because if they can't find a woman that.
Yeah, you want them to conform to your preferences.
I didn't say conform to my preferences. I said if they get out of the red pill community, they might not believe these things anymore.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Which would conform to
what?
your preferences.
I didn't say anything about my preferences.
You
Out
I'm
of
sorry,
the
I'm
red-
sorry.
if the red
Do you
pill
think that if
community-
all these red pillars adopted your preferences,
No.
like they don't care about body
I don't give a
counts,
shit about my preferences. Who cares about my preferences?
Okay.
If they can't find a
So
woman,
then
hold on. If
give
they
me
can't,
any.
listen, if they can't find a
Give me
woman,
any.
if they can't find a woman that
Yeah.
doesn't match their preferences,
Yeah.
they get out of the red pill because
Okay.
it's not working for them. They might change their beliefs. I'm not prescribing a preference.
So-
I'm prescribing getting out of the red pill. That's what I'm prescribing.
so can you prescribe any alternative?
Getting out of the red pill is the first step.
Yeah, that's not an alternative.
It is.
No, that's just that. Listen, it's like saying this: your car is shit. Great, but I need to drive to work. Can you tell me an alternative car? No.
That's not the same thing. I'm
Same.
saying no, it's not.
Same.
Okay, take the blue pill then. How about that?
Okay, what's the blue pill?
It's the complete opposite of the red pill.
Yeah, that doesn't tell me anything. What is it?
Well, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, okay, they'll figure it out. Never any prescriptions at all.
No, because I'm not coming here to prescribe anything but getting out of the red pill. That's all I'm doing.
But don't you understand that unless you give prescriptions for why that is?
Because it's not helping them. That's why.
Yeah, but you won't even tell us what the standard of helping them is. What is it?
If they're unhappy with the current situation they're in because of the communities they're listening to, get out of it.
Then
That's
tell
what I'm
us
trying
what
to say.
the alternative community they'll be happy in is.
First, throw up the red pill. That's the first step.
Oh my God!
Then we'll figure
if you're
it out
not happy
from there.
with your shitty car, then just get rid of the car. Well,
Okay.
what do I get in? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yep.
Stupid.
It's so stupid. Yeah.
It is.
It's so dumb.
You have no alternatives.
It's so dumb. Yeah.
No prescriptions.
Keep prescribing the red pill. Then keep prescribing it. It's working for them.
I prescribe Christian ethics.
You also prescribe the red pill.
No, I just say that there's things about the red pill. You asked me a specific narrow question. Has it done more good or more bad? I think it's done more bad. That doesn't mean it's a prescriptor that I prescribe, because I also understand it does more good than bad.
Okay, well, you personally don't, but the communities themselves do, and the content creators do.
What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with literally fucking
It
anything?
has to do with what I came here to do.
Oh, okay. What did you come here to do again?
To try to convince as many red pillars to get out as
Do you
possible.
think you're doing that?
I don't know. Maybe some people are
Do
listening.
you think you're doing that?
I don't know. Maybe some of them might say, you know what, it isn't working for me. I'm going to get out. Maybe that's what they're thinking.
You would have been better coming in
I don't
with
need-
a
I don't
pro-Christian
care.
ethics message, because that actually gets them out of the red pill.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, it does it a lot better.
Yeah.
That's why Muslims do a good job
Mm-hmm.
recruiting out of the red pill manosphere. It's why Christians do a good job. Secularist atheists who say, no, I don't give a shit if a woman's fucking plowed 100 guys. I'd still be with her anyway. That just turned off every motherfucker who was watching this, I promise.
Well, that's fine. But if it is going to Christian ethics and that gives them a happier life and they're not depressed and they're not incels, then hey, go for it.
Okay.
If that's a prescription.
Wait a second. So maybe we can agree here. Should red pillars go towards Christian ethics?
I'm not prescribing that, no. But if it helps them, go for it.
Then that would be a prescription.
No, it's not. There's
It
several
is.
things they can turn to that aren't Christian ethics. But if
What?
that is one
What?
of them, I'm not saying that I don't know, but I'm saying there are other alternatives. If Christian ethics is one, if you said,
Okay.
if religion in general is one.
Alternatives, what I got here.
If religion
There's
is
other
one,
alternatives.
Yeah, there's several people that live their lives in a secular way that aren't depressed and incels. There's several
You do
ways you can live a
realize-
secular life that doesn't necessarily have this hard and fast philosophy that you believe in. There are people that can get out of it and choose a different path. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, all you're offering up is more feminist degeneracy.
Yeah, degenerate.
It is degenerate.
I'm not
It's completely
promoting
degenerate.
any sort of
What
degeneracy.
your worldview leads to is cohabitation
Yeah.
and single motherhood and degeneracy. That's all it ever leads to.
And what red pill content leads to is depression. And red pill content leads to depression, and it leads to loneliness,
you know
and
what?
it leads to
Here's
anger.
the thing. If you have to do the alternative spectrum, where we follow your view for cohabitation, we already know what that does to men, and it's way worse than if they never get married or if they do get married. We know it for sure.
Okay.
And your worldview, your secularist fucking worldview, feminist worldview, is what led us to this in the first place. It was the erosion of religion, the erosion of Christian ethics, the erosion of having a patriarchal society. We used to have 95%. 95% they stayed intact. Thanks, man. Oh, now you care about them so much.
95% what?
Oh, marriages used 95%.
Because women were legally and economically trapped in
Bro,
marriage.
you think this is a better system?
Yes.
Okay, well then why do you say you care about these men?
Yes.
You want them to be free of the red pill?
Correct.
Then why'd you put them in a fucking society where they needed it?
Okay, they needed it because of feminism. You're right. Blame women every
They
chance
did.
you get. Blame women every chance you get, Andrew.
Did I blame women or
Every
did I blame
chance you
an
get.
ideology?
Okay, it's the
Yeah,
same
which
thing.
thing? No, it's not the same thing.
It's the same
you just
thing,
don't
and you know it.
understand
It's
how
the
to
same
debate.
thing,
You don't know
it.
nothing.
Yeah.
So again, this whole society, we had all of the things that you're prescribing. Men's health, really good. Women's health, really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
And now, not so much.
Yeah.
Thanks to you fuckers.
Yeah, thanks to us.
So you want them to do the exact same shit. Same shit.
Yeah.
Cohabitate, have kids, let the woman take over when it comes to abortions, right? She can kill your kid, not kill your kid, totally up to her. You fucking deal with it. And if she has a high body count, just get over that preference.
Yeah, if the red pill's working
Fucking
for you,
brilliant,
if the
bro.
red pill's working for you, keep
Oh
it.
my
If it's
God.
not, get the fuck out.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Your lifestyle doesn't. The lifestyle of secularism, which leads to degeneracy, is what forced society into this fucking play anyway. So
You know what? I think a lot of men are angry that women have agency and they can live their own lives, they can make income,
yeah,
and
I
these
know.
men are just
I
upset
know.
about it. That's what it is. And the red pill was a good community for them to go to because they're
Yeah.
rejected and they're angry.
Yeah.
So the red pill is what it is.
Yeah, so it has nothing to do with agency. It has to do with the understanding of virtues.
Oh yeah, it's virtues. That's the issue.
Yeah,
everyone's like, man.
Well, you think that gender is nebulous. In fact, everything is nebulous. So when you say masculine or you say feminine, those are nebulous terms to you. But the thing is like masculinity is not a nebulous term. It's always been associated with virtue.
Yeah,
the same as femininity, feminine virtues and masculine virtues.
The world changes.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like that forcing of the progressive ideology. Exactly what got us here. All you're prescribing is more progressive ideology.
Yeah, the idea that women wanted to, be lawyers and they couldn't 55 years ago. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh my God. Instead, they took care of their own children.
We're forcing it. We're forcing it down your throat.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
God forgive people trying to find their own agency.
Would you rather take away the ability of women to be lawyers if it meant that the human population continued to go because they stayed at home or were mothers, or would you let humanity go extinct so that women could stay lawyers if they wanted to?
I don't know if a life is worth living if you don't have agency.
Can you answer my fucking question?
I just did. No, I don't. I would rather women had the choice. That's what I said.
And all of humanity go extinct.
So be it.
Okay. I think that's the end of the debate.
There's some other prompts. We got some chats coming through. Guys, if you want to get it in, $100 TTS. Andrew's going for another smoke break. There he goes. He'll be right back, guys. We have Lucas. Thank you, Lucas.
Lucas donated $100.
Appreciate it.
Healthy masculinity equals biblical masculinity, i.e., highly competent, patriarchal.